Shot calling is probably the most underrated aspect of performance shooting that I just don't see a lot of people talking about. And I believe it to be a key component to the success of your performance shooting journey. And I think a lot of people think they understand it, they think they're doing it, but when in actuality they actually don't understand it and they're not really doing it. Speaking from experience, I know that for the longest time I thought that I knew what it was and I thought that I was doing it and applying it and executing it, and I really wasn't. And it wasn't until recently that I really started to really work on it, really pay attention and study it and really understand it so that I could apply it and execute it to the best of my ability. Now, what is shot calling? Well, shot calling essentially is paying attention to your sights and what your sights are telling your eyes when you break the shot, right? So that you can call your shot, you can essentially predict where that shot went without having to look at the target or without having an RO or someone else tell you where your shot went, right? So I have some training sights here. Shout out to these guys. These are awesome training tools for this purpose. Now, I want you to, if you have a red dot, this is going to be a lot easier, but for the sake of this video, I'm just using some iron sights, but the principles are all the same, right? So, if you have your sights on the target right here, right? Maybe you're at 25 yards or something, you know, front sight is covering up a little bit of the A zone, kind of moving it, right? Trying to find your acceptable sight picture, and boom! Where'd that shot go? Okay. Sights are on target, right? Boom! Right? The recoil is riding those sights up. Where are these sights the moment before the recoil sends those sights up? So pay attention, right? Watch it. Boom! Right? Right down here, right? That's shot calling. That's the simplest form of shot calling, right? And we're going to demonstrate this in a little bit. Now, why is shot calling important? Well, first and foremost, it's going to save you time, okay? It's going to save you time whether you're running through a stage or even in a more practical scenario. Now, it's also going to give you the confidence that you know exactly where your bullets are going, right? Because that's the goal. When we're shooting is to make our bullets go where our sights are, right? That's the whole goal. If we could all do that perfectly, it'd be end of story, right? We'd be good to go. So, you'll see in USPSA matches, I've even seen it an improvement in my performance in USPSA matches. You'll see high-level shooters that'll be shooting, and you'll see them shoot 2 rounds per target, 2 best hits per target, and sometimes you'll hear a third shot that'll break off almost in the same split time or the same cadence. It'll be pop, pop, pop. Right before they ever transition to the next target. They called that shot. They called a bad shot on that target, whether it was Alpha Charlie or Alpha Delta or something, and whether it was that first or second shot, they knew it was a bad shot, so they took an extra shot to get a better hit, right? Another form or another way you'll see it is when they're shooting steel, right? You're shooting a little popper. You'll shoot it, maybe it's at 20 yards, right? And they don't wait for the ding of steel or for that popper to slowly fall for them to look and see whether or not they hit it or not. They see that dot or those sights on that target, and they're confident that they broke the trigger, had a good grip without moving, or broke the shot without moving the gun at all. They're hightailing it out of there. Another really cool form of shot calling is PRS shooters, precision rifle shooters. You'll see them shooting a target several hundred yards away, a piece of steel. They'll shoot, they'll unchamber, and they'll be moving to the next station before they even hear the ding of steel, right? That's shot calling, okay? It's a pretty simple form of it, right? There's also a very practical and realistic form of shot calling too. Go ahead and Google Jared Reston and his story. You watch some YouTube videos. It's really interesting. I'm going to let you do your own research on that because that's a pretty awesome way of shot calling too. Now, there's a really cool exercise that I like to do for myself and with students that also a lot of other people like to do. So what you're gonna need is we have a clean target here, okay? We're also going to need a shot up target, okay? What we're gonna do is we're gonna put this on top of this. We're gonna go back to either 15 or 25 yards. And the reason why you put this on top of it is because we're gonna be doing some shooting and we don't wanna be able to cheat. We don't wanna be able to see where our bullet holes are, because even at 25 yards, I can see where my bullet holes are on a clean target. Get a nice shot up target, overlay it, you can't cheat, okay? There's no cheating, no peeking, all right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw this on top of a clean target, and then we've also got another clean target with a Sharpie. We're gonna go back to the 25-yard line. We're gonna do 6 one-shot draws, and after each rep, I'm gonna write down or circle where I think that shot went. Now, there's a few things also to consider here with our eyes, right? Our eyes do some weird things. When we're calling our shot, we're not always gonna be 100% accurate. We're not perfect, right? I would like to say that I am, but I'm not, right? So when we're shooting, typically, and I'm not a neurologist, so I haven't quite figured this out yet either, when we're shooting, typically our left to right calls are going to be pretty accurate for the most part. If we're paying attention, it'll be pretty accurate. However, our up and down sometimes are a little inaccurate, or quite a bit inaccurate. We may have a shot here that we thought was down here, right? We called it down here, or maybe we thought it was here and it was way down there, or high, or whatever it may be. I'm not totally sure why that is. I personally think it's because we read left to right, so the accuracy of our eyes studying things is a little more, we have a bit better perception of what it is left to right. I'm not totally sure. But we're gonna do this exercise and see how accurate we can get. All right, that was a little high, but I still called an A. A little low. I would call that a Charlie. Still a little low. I called an Alpha on that one though. Alright, dead center Alpha. Two more. A little low. One more, here we go. One Alpha on that one too. So, that's what's my projected accuracy. Let's go up and confirm. Okay. This off. What we got? Okay, so I was low on all those calls, okay? So let's try and compare these here. Should have brought my Sharpie. That's okay. So here, little up, little off, up and down. These two, or these guys right here, is a little off to the left, but still low. And then this guy, that guy, that one also a little high. That one over there. So as you can see, I'm pretty off. I'm pretty off up and down. These are all really low compared to what I called. Only got 2 alphas and 3 deltas from what I called 4 alphas. So not great, right? I'm not warmed up or anything, not making excuses, but it is what it is. So practice this, get good at it, and then we can start doing multiple strings of fire and then kind of seeing where our shots can go from there. Let's try it. All right, now we're gonna start doing some bill drills here at 25 yards. I'm gonna have to start using my memory now and really pay attention to what my sights are telling me. All right, here we go. All right, now I'm calling 1 high and 1 that was low. calling 2 alpha. And also 1 here. Can't quite remember where that 4th one is, but I believe it was just a little low and centered. But we'll see. Let's go up and double check it. All right, so let's take a look here. So as you can see, once again, I'm off a little bit on my calls here. Okay, so let's go by the farthest one out, right? So that, I'm guessing that's going to be. Sometimes you have to match these up. I'm guessing this one is going to be this one. This alpha here, I'm guessing was this one out here, or they could be swapped. Could have been that one, and then that one. Yeah, or that one and that one. Not totally sure. Once again, I'm not 100%. But then these 4, you can see kind of a little bit of a linear movement, right? Once again, I'm quite a bit off on my up and down, and I'm a little bit left too. These are. I had a kind of a little bit more, drew a little bit more of a linear path, but you can see my eyes sometimes playing tricks on me. And also I shot that a little fast too. That was a 435. Okay, 435. It's not super fast. 25 yards, but this is shot calling, right? This is not a great example of shot calling, gonna be honest, not my best work, but it is what it is. So guys, get out, train this, push yourselves. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. You rolling still? All right. In case you were wondering, 3 alpha, steel, down, 3 alpha.